Financial crisis. Is a recession coming? A monetary emergency is any of an expansive assortment of circumstances where a few monetary resources out of nowhere lose a huge piece of their ostensible worth. In the 19th and mid-20th hundreds of years, numerous monetary emergencies were related with banking frenzies, and numerous downturns agreed with these frenzies. Different circumstances that are in many cases called monetary emergencies incorporate securities exchange crashes and the blasting of other monetary air pockets, money emergencies, and sovereign defaults. Monetary emergencies straightforwardly bring about a deficiency of paper riches, yet don't be guaranteed to bring about huge changes in the genuine economy. For example, the emergency coming about because of the well-known tulip madness bubble in the 17th 100 years. Numerous business analysts have offered hypotheses about how monetary emergencies create and how they could be forestalled. There is no agreement, in any case, and monetary emergencies keep on happening occasionally. Downturns frequently overwhelm everybody. There's a generally excellent possibility the following one will not. Financial experts have been estimating a downturn throughout recent months, and most see it beginning right on time 1 year from now. Whether it's profound or shallow, long or short, is disputable, yet the possibility that the economy is going into a time of withdrawal is essentially the agreement view among financial experts. By and large, when you have high expansion, and the Federal Reserve is lifting loan fees to control expansion, that outcomes in a slump or downturn, said Imprint Zandi, boss financial expert at Moody's examination. That constantly occurs, the exemplary overheating situation that prompts a downturn. We've seen this story previously. At the point when expansion gets and the Fed answers by pushing up loan costs, the economy eventually buckles under the heaviness of higher financing costs. Zandi is in the minority of financial specialists who accept the central bank can keep away from a downturn by raising rates sufficiently lengthy to try not to crush development. The fact that the economy will faint presence in any defense, him set assumptions high. Normally downturns surprise us. Chiefs never discuss downturns, said Zandi. Presently it appears chiefs are falling over themselves to say we're falling into a downturn. Each individual on television says downturn. Each financial specialist says downturn. I've seen nothing like it taken care of causing it this time. Amusingly, the Federal Reserve is easing back the economy, after it acted the hero in the last two financial slumps. The National Bank animated loaning by taking financing costs to nothing, and helped market liquidity by adding trillions of dollars in resources for its asset report. It is currently loosening up that monetary record, and has quickly raised loan fees from 0 in spring, to a scope of 4.25% to 4.5% this month. However, in those last two downturns, policymakers didn't have to stress over high expansion gnawing into customer or corporate spending power, and crawling across the economy through the store network and rising wages. The Fed currently has a serious fight with expansion. It gauges extra rate climbs, up to around 5.1% by ahead of schedule 1 year from now, and financial experts expect it might keep up with those high rates to control expansion. Those higher rates are as of now negatively affecting the real estate market, with home deals down 35.4% from last year in November, the 10th month straight of decline. The 30-year contract rate is near 7%. Furthermore, purchaser expansion was all the while running at a hot 7.1% yearly rate in November. You need to brush the residue off your financial aspects course book. This will be an exemplary downturn, said Tom Simons, currency market financial specialist at Jefferies. The transmission component we will see it work through first in the start of the following year. We'll begin to see some huge wiggle room pressure in corporate benefits. When that begins to grab hold, they will do whatever it may take to cut their costs. The primary spot we will see it is in lessening headcount. We'll see that by the center of the following year, and that is the point at which we'll see monetary development stoppage altogether and expansion will descend too. How awful will it be? A downturn is viewed as a delayed monetary slump that extensively influences the economy and commonly endures 2 quarters or more. The Public Agency of Monetary Exploration, the authority of downturns, thinks about how profound the stoppage is, the way far and wide it is, and the way in which long it endures. Be that as it may, on the off chance that any variable is sufficiently serious, then Burr could proclaim a downturn. For example, the pandemic slump in 2020 was so unexpected and sharp with wide arriving at influence that not entirely set in stone to be a downturn despite the fact that it was extremely short. I'm expecting a short, shallow one, yet trust springs everlasting, said Diane Swank, boss financial specialist at KPMG. The uplifting news is we ought to have the option to rapidly recuperate from it. We truly do have great monetary records, and you could get a reaction to bring down rates once the Fed begins facilitating. Taken care of prompted downturns are not accounting report downturns. The central bank's most recent financial projections show the economy developing at a speed of 0.5% in 2023, and it doesn't gauge a downturn. "We'll have one on the grounds that the Federal Reserve is attempting to make one," said Swank. "At the point when you say development will slow down to nothing and the joblessness rate will increase, it's reasonable the Fed has a downturn in its figure, yet they won't say it." The National Bank estimates joblessness could ascend 1 year from now to 4.6% from its current 3.7%. Taken care of inversion? How long policymakers will actually want to hold loan fees at undeniable levels is indistinct. Dealers in the prospects market anticipate that the Fed should begin cutting rates toward the finish of 2023. In its own conjecture, the National Bank shows rate cuts beginning in 2024. Swank accepts the Fed should backtrack on higher rates eventually due to the downturn. However, Simons expects a downturn could go through the finish of 2024 in a time of high rates. "The market obviously thinks the Federal Reserve will invert seminar on rates as things turn down," said Simons. "What isn't valued is the Fed needs this to keep their drawn-out validity on expansion. The last 2 downturns came post-quake tremors. The downturn in 2008 began in the monetary framework, and the forthcoming downturn will be nothing similar to that," Simons said. "It turned out to be essentially difficult to get cash despite the fact that financing costs were low. The progression of credit dialed back a ton. Contract markets were broken, monetary business sectors endured due to the disease of subordinates," said Simons. "It was monetarily produced. It wasn't such a lot of the Fed fixing strategy by raising financing costs, yet the market shut down due to an absence of liquidity and trust. I don't think we have that at this point. That downturn was longer than it appeared to be by and large." Swank said it began in January 2008, "It resembled 18 months, she said. "We had a year where you didn't understand you were in it, however in fact you were. The pandemic downturn was 2 months in length, walk, April 2020. That is all there is to it. While the potential for downturn has been not too far off for a spell, the Fed has so far neglected to truly sluggish work and cool the economy through the work market. However, cutback declarations are mounting, and a few financial specialists see the potential for decreases in work 1 year from now. Toward the beginning of the year, we were getting 600,000 new jobs a month, and presently we are getting about perhaps 250,000, Zondi said. I think we'll see 100,000 and afterward 1 year from now it will essentially go to nothing. That is sufficiently not to cause a downturn but rather enough to cool the work market." He said there could be decreases in work 1 year from now. "The incongruity here is that everyone is anticipating a downturn," he said, "that could change their way of behaving. The economy could cool and the Fed wouldn't need to fix to such an extent as to gag the economy," he said. "Obligation administration troubles have never been lower. Families have a boatload of money, corporates have great accounting reports, net revenues turned over, however they're near record highs," Zondi said. "The financial framework has never been also promoted or as fluid. Each state has a stormy day reserve. The real estate market is underbuilt. It is normally overbuilt going into a downturn. The underpinnings of the economy look solid." What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go.